Good evening and welcome to the 2026 Rotary Challenge It. I'm 25 News Senior Neighborhood Reporter Charles Molyneux, and tonight we are joined by our representatives of Belton and Troy for the quarterfinals. So glad to have you folks with us, and we got lots of questions to answer to pick your brains. Let's see how we do, and we'll get started right off with our first one, coming from Fine Arts. For 20 points, this artist is said to have yelled "speak" at his sculpture of Habakkuk, titled La Zuccone. What Italian sculptor of Guatemala created a helmeted and nude bronze depiction of David?
Michelangelo?
Troy, that is not correct. So let's see what, anybody wants to give that a try from Belton? The answer is Donatello. All right, so let's move on to 15 points in history. A party partially named for this commodity was led by Harry M. Teller. William Jennings Bryan supported the use of what commodity, the subject of a free movement that promoted a bimetallic system with gold?
Silver.
Belton, that is correct. That is silver. So let's see, that will be 15 points for Belton. Moving on to computational math. Let's get your pens and papers out. All right, here goes. Jason has a bag with 10 red, 5 blue, and 5 green gummy bears. If Jason randomly pulls gummy bears out of the bag without replacement, what is the probability of eating 2 green gummy bears in a row? Jason has a bag with 10 red, 5 blue, and 5 green gummy bears. If he randomly pulls... Okay, I've got a response from Belton. What do we got?
1/16.
That is not correct. Troy, gonna give it a shot?
1/8.
That is not correct. The answer is 1/19.
Because we do 1/4 and then it's 19.
All right, that's okay. We'll do more computational math. Ready? Pencils out. There are 20 students in Jonathan's class, and 5 of them bring fruit snacks to school. 12 bring goldfish, and 3 bring crackers. If Jonathan randomly selects 2 students at once, what is the probability they both bring crackers? Again, 20 students in class, 5 bring fruit snacks, 12 bring goldfish, 3 bring crackers. If he randomly selects 2 at once, what is the probability they both bring crackers? Okay, we got an answer from Troy.
1.5 over 20.
1.5 over 20. That is not correct. Want to give it a try? Belton?
6 over 340, or yeah. 6 over 340.
Nope. Okay, that is not it. The correct answer is 3 over 190. So that was a tough one.
So 6 over 380 I would have taken.
All right, for literature now, 15 points here. This character avoids being eaten alive by claiming to be nobody, allowing him to gouge out the eyes of the... Yes.
Odysseus?
That is correct. Odysseus, 15 points for Belton. Going to literature, this author wrote the series The Tales of My Landlord, which is part of his Waverley novels. Name this author of Rob Roy and Ivanhoe. Okay, nobody got it? The answer is Walter Scott. Oh, there it was. Let's take a look at history. Along with Edmund Randolph and Elbridge Gerry, this man refused to sign the U.S. Constitution because it lacked a Bill of Rights.
George Mason.
That is correct. George Mason, 15 points for Belton. All right, sticking with history, also for 15 points. This ruler, who founded the Hermitage Museum, came into power after deposing her husband, Peter III.
Catherine the Great of Russia.
That is correct. Catherine the Great, 15 points for Belton on that one. Let's go to social science. For 20 points, Some countries artificially reduce this rate in order to increase exports, and a fixed one of these rates can be employed to reduce inflation. What rate relates? Yes.
Tariffs.
That is not correct. So, Belton, you want to give it a try? This is what rate relates to the relative value of two different currencies?
Interest rate.
That's not correct.
Oh,
The
shit.
answer is exchange rate.
I was stupid.
Foreign language. 20 points on this one. Okay, so the Spanish translations of what author's books are titled Aislado del Paradiso, Suave es la noche, El Curioso Casa de Benjamin Button, and El Gran Gatsby?
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
That is correct. We know those names mostly in English, but that is what it is. F. Scott Fitzgerald, 20 points for Troy. We're going to continue with literature now. This character is at Colonos in the title of Sophocles' play. What character, who marries his mother Jocasta and killed his father Laius, names a complex by Sigmund Freud? Oh, that was Oedipus. Let's go to history for 20 points. This man, who built Grand Central Depot after acquiring the New York Central Railroad, began his career as a steamboat owner. What? Let's go with Troy. What do we got?
Andrew Carnegie.
That is not correct. What man nicknamed the Commodore names a private university in Tennessee? That would be Cornelius Vanderbilt.
Oh, bro.
For 10 points in pop culture, Isa Gonzalez plays a member of the Protectors of the Path in this movie, whose title object is found below the Great Pyramids of Giza. What 2025 Apple TV movie stars Natalie Portman and John Krasinski as siblings who look for a fabled spring with restorative waters?
The Fountain of Youth.
That is correct. 10 points for Troy, Fountain of Youth. We're going into science now. For 20 points. What law, which applies when there are no intermolecular forces, when particle size is negligible, is extended by the van der Waals equation and is usually written as PV equals nRT?
Ideal gas law.
That is correct. 20 points for Belton. Ideal gas law. All right, movies.
Done. Out of time.
Oh, we're out of time. All right. Well, in that case, I missed the cue on that one. All right, we'll be back with a look at the lightning round. How are we doing on score?
Belton 80, Troy 30.
All right, Belton 80, Troy 30, and we'll be back momentarily as we head into the lightning round.
The deals are real at Colleen Auto. We have just the Ford you're looking for. Trucks, SUVs, or something in between. Come check out our amazing Colleen Hyundai store. Find a sleek Volkswagen at Colleen Volkswagen. We have over 300 used to choose at Colleen Certified, including many options under 20 grand. Ford, Hyundai, Volkswagen, or used, the deals are real at Colleen Auto. ColeenAuto.com.
Welcome back to the 2026 Rotary Challenge between Troy and Belton. We're about to head into the lightning round. Let's see who we've got as our contenders this week. Looking over to Troy, why don't you introduce yourself starting at the outside and tell us maybe what you did to get ready for this.
My name is Landry Hart. I was on this team last year, so I had previous knowledge on how to compete here.
My name is Kalani Aldos, and I was getting quizzed right before we came in here.
My name is Emma Gershbach, and I was also getting quizzed right before we came in here.
My name is Brady Hart, and I was also getting quizzed before we came in here.
That makes sense. Very good, and good luck. Okay, from Belton, again, outside, introduce yourself, and what did you do to get ready?
I'm Neha Bhatt, and I have this app where you can do practice quiz bowl questions, so I use that.
I'm Charlie Wagner, and we had meetings twice a week where we did questions, so that helped a lot.
I'm Ian Mickle, and I studied both on the phone and on the computer for this.
My name is Arina Gutova, and we were quizzed with our teacher before coming here.
Yeah, they're rooting for you. All right, well, we're going to start the lightning round now. We'll have 1 minute, 60 seconds to answer questions from a category. We'll start with Troy. You're running a little behind on the numbers. So you can pick between 3 categories. They will be 2025 NBA All-Star Game, Charles Dickens, or optics.
Optics.
Optics, very good. All right. When I start asking questions, you will have 60 seconds to come up with answers. We'll go through it as fast as you can. 10 points for each response that you get correctly. Here goes. Answer the following about the behavior of light. What is the bouncing of light off a surface like a mirror?
Reflection.
Correct. Quantum particle of light.
Photon.
Correct. Phenomenon where light waves overlap and combine, producing bright and dark regions.
Light rays.
That is incorrect. Point where parallel rays of light converge after passing through a lens.
Pass.
Angle of incidence above which internal reflection occurs.
Pass.
Phenomenon where white light spreads into colors when passing through a prism.
Refraction.
That is not correct. Distortions caused by imperfections in lenses or mirrors with spherical or chromatic types.
Pass.
The diffraction effect caused by concentric bright and dark rings for circular apertures. Time's up.
We won't even count that one as one that we went to.
All right. All right. Well, now let's go over to Belton, and you can take your shot at some of the ones that they did not manage to get. Starting with phenomenon where light waves overlap and combine, producing bright and dark regions. You can confer on this.
The prism effect?
That is not correct. How about point where parallel rays of light converge after passing through a lens?
I think it's convex. Convex?
Also incorrect. Angle of incidence would be the focal point. Angle of incidence above which total internal reflection occurs.
No idea. Pass.
Yeah.
No, there's no passing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just give an answer.
Just take a shot, but don't take too long.
Yeah. I mean, refraction.
Okay, that's not correct. That's a critical angle. Phenomenon where white light spreads into colors when passing through a prism.
Prismatic effect?
No, it's the dispersion effect. Distortions caused by imperfections in lenses or mirrors with spherical or chromatic types.
Illusion.
Yeah, that would be aberrations. All right, well, now you get to try your own series. You could select between 2025 NBA All-Star Game or Charles Dickens.
No, but I also don't know.
Charles Dickens.
All right, Charles Dickens it is. I'll start, and then you'll have 60 seconds to answer each of the questions. We'll go through as fast as we can. You answer as fast as you can. The timer will be up on the screen. Answer the following about the works of Charles Dickens. Cold-hearted man visited by ghosts in A Christmas Carol.
Scrooge.
Correct. Title of the hungry orphan who states, "Please, sir, I want some
Oliver
more."
Twist.
Correct. Novel whose characters include Pip, Estella, and Miss Havisham.
Pass.
Semi-autobiographical title character who shares his name with a magician.
Houdini.
Incorrect. Device with a blade at the top used to behead Sidney Carton.
Guillotine.
That is correct. the two European capitals referred to in the title of A Tale of Two Cities?
London and Paris.
That is correct. Title antique store run by Little Nell and her grandfather.
Pass.
All alliterative title character who was sent to a school run by Wackford Squeers.
Pass.
Title character of an unfinished Dickens murder mystery. Okay.
Oh, that wasn't bad.
All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Troy, you ready to take a crack at the remaining ones? We'll start off with novel whose characters include Pip, Estella, and Miss Havisham. That would be Great Expectations. Semi-autobiographical title character who shares his name with a magician. You give it a crack? No?
No, sir.
No answer there. All right. Title antique store run by Little Nell and her grandfather.
The Great Bakery.
Not correct. It's the Old Curiosity Shop. Alliterative title character sent to school run by the Wackford Squeers.
Donald Trump.
Nicholas Nickleby. Alliteration. That's what it is. All right, what is our score right now?
We have Belton with 120, Troy with 50.
All right, Belton 120, Troy 150. We have a whole other round coming up after this. We'll be right back with the 2026 Rotary Challenge.
First of all, insurance companies are billion-dollar companies. They have very deep pockets. They're not going to pay unless they're forced to. You need a lawyer that has the resources to be able to go up against that kind of fight. You also need a lawyer that's not interested in settling early. Insurance companies try and put some type of value based on medical bills alone. Our job here at Daniel Stark is to learn a client's unique story so that we can tell that story to get them full value. Injured? Demand Daniel Stark.
Welcome back to the 2026 Rotary Challenge. We're coming out of the lightning round with Troy now at 50 points and Belton at 120, so plenty of opportunity for this to turn in any direction. Let us go right back to our popcorn. Get your buttons ready, and we'll take a look at movies for 5 points. In this movie, the protagonist sneaks into Coach Roberts' office and finds a note saying she's not ready to join the Firehawks, which are led by Val Ortiz. Ennui is the new character in what 2024? Belton, what do we got?
Inside Out 2.
That is correct. Inside Out 2, 5 points for Belton on that one. Fine Arts. This is going to be worth 15 points. This opera's librettist, Emmanuel Schikaneder, premiered the role of a character whose mouth is padlocked shut, Papageno. The Queen of the Night sings multiple high Fs in what Mozart opera titled For the Woodwind Instrument? Yes.
Phantom of the Opera.
That is not correct. Want to give that one a try? Now that is Mozart's The Magic Flute. 5 points for religion. During this holiday, the youngest child asks 4 questions, including why is this night different from all other nights? Practitioners during this holiday only eat unleavened bread such as matzah during a Seder feast. Name this holiday that commemorates the Israelites' exodus from Egypt.
Passover.
You need to buzz in.
All right.
Answer.
Passover.
Buzz first.
What's that?
They buzz.
All right.
They get to answer.
So
Hanukkah?
that is not correct. It was, in fact,
Well, now they get a chance to answer.
Passover.
it is in fact Passover. Yeah, gotta hit the button first. Push the red button. Geography. This is for 15 points. It's not in Arizona, but this national park has a 24-mile-long Grand Canyon. A caldera, mostly within this national park, is North America's largest supervolcano. Okay, for Troy, what do we got?
Yellowstone?
That is correct. Yellowstone. 15 points for Troy. Going to science now. This one's worth 5 points. Temporary visitors to these ecosystems are called troxglacians. while their permanent residents are called troglobites. Animals in these ecosystems often lack pigmentation and have poor eyesight. Bats hibernate in what underground ecosystems? Troy, what do we got?
Cavernous.
I believe that would be correct. Cave, yeah, all right, we'll go with that. For 5 points in languages, the word for street includes a character called an estet. The language's word for girl, Mädchen, uses a didactic mark called the umlaut. What language of Liechtenstein is widely spoken in Cologne?
German.
That is correct. The language is German. Let's go to literature for 5 points. The title character of this novella says, "A man can be destroyed but not defeated." In this novella, an 84-year-old dry spell is almost broken before sharks appear. The titled fisherman attempts to bring a giant marlin to shore in what novella by Ernest Hemingway? Want to give that a try?
The Dust Bowl?
Not quite. Want to give it a shot? No?
Moby Dick.
It's The Old Man and the Sea.
I don't know it.
Let's try some sports. For 5 points, this team's head coach, Vince Lombardi, came up with the... Okay, what do we got?
The Green Bay Packers.
Troy, that is correct. Green Bay Packers for 5 points. They didn't have to go very far into that one. All right, literature. In this play, music from the blue piano is cut off by the line, "Hey there, Stella baby." A streetcar called Elysian Fields is the setting for what Tennessee Williams play about a visitor to New Orleans, Blanche Dubois? Want to give that a try?
The Golden Girls?
Not quite. Want to give that a try, Belton? Okay, the play is A Streetcar Named Desire. For 15 points, science. Playfair's axiom replaces a postulate named for this property, which is Euclid's fifth. A transversal intersects two lines with this property, which have equal slope. Name this word to describe, yes.
Parallel.
The word is parallel. That is correct. 15 points. For 5 points, math and science, the quantity times pi appears in the exponential of Euler's identity, which sets that quantity equal to -1. Multiples of this quantity appear on the y-axis of the Argand diagram. Name this quantity equal to the square root of -1.
I.
All right, looks like Belton got that one first.
I.
That is correct, I, aka the imaginary unit. 5 points for Belton for that one. Current events. Let's see how we're doing on those. 15 points for this one. In one of his many current positions, this man oversaw a reduction of U.S. foreign aid and the merger of USAID into the State Department. What former U.S. Senator from Florida? All right, looks like Belton got in on that
Marco
one first.
Rubio.
Marco Rubio is correct. 15 points for Belton on that one. Social science is now where we are. 10 points for that one. These institutions, often called lenders of last resort, seek to control the money supply interest rates to influence inflation. What institutions set monetary policy? Troy, want to give that a try?
Banks?
More specific, please.
Loan banks?
Belton, want to try it?
Federal Reserves.
Okay, they would be central banks or, yes, the Federal Reserve. That definitely works. That is 10 points for Belton. All right, let's try music.
Sorry.
Wow. All right, for 5 points. This composer wrote a piece to be played during the procession on the River Thames titled Water Music. George II started the tradition of standing during what composer's Hallelujah Chorus, which is part of his orato Messiah?
Bach.
That is not correct. Want to give that a try, Belton?
Beethoven?
Also not correct. The answer is Handel, as in Handel's Messiah. Science for 10 points. This process ends with the formation of a cell plate in plants and psychokinesis in animals. Name this process divided into prophase, metaphase, anaphase. Yes, let's give that a try. Let's see. Oh, and upside down. Go ahead, Troy.
Mitosis?
That mitosis is correct. That's right. All right, let's get our score.
12 seconds. 12 seconds. You got, read one more.
All right, one more. Math and science. This quantity times whoops, we got a rerun. The Unimir mission led by Romeo Dallaire failed to stop this event. The Interahamwe perpetuated the event, which was ended by the RPF under Paul Kagame. Name this 1994 atrocity in Africa in which Hutus massacred Tutsi. What do we got?
The massacre of Rwanda.
Rwanda genocide, I believe that would be correct, yes. Okay, and that brings us to our finish. Final score is?
120 for Troy, 165 for Belton.
All right, that means Belton, you will be continuing on to the semifinals. Bravo to both of you. Troy, great job. And we will have more coming up next week in the 2026 Rotary Challenge.
The deals are real at Colleen Auto. We have just the Ford you're looking for. Trucks, SUVs, or something in between. Come check out our amazing Colleen Hyundai store. Find a sleek Volkswagen at Colleen Volkswagen. We have over 300 used to choose at Colleen Certified, including many options under 20 grand. Ford, Hyundai, Volkswagen, or used, the deals are real at Colleen Auto. ColeenAuto.com.
First of all, insurance companies are billion-dollar companies. They have very deep pockets. They're not going to pay unless they're forced to. You need a lawyer that has the resources to be able to go up against that kind of fight. You also need a lawyer that's not interested in settling early. Insurance companies try and put some type of value based on medical bills alone. Our job here at Daniel Stark is to learn a client's unique story so that we can tell that story to get them full value. Injured? Demand Daniel Stark.